Welcome to another episode of One of Us Knows What They're Talking About, and the other one is you. I'm Lori Burch, your host. Join us as we discuss and unpack wills, trusts, estate planning, and probate law in a way that's actually informative, interesting, and, well, hopefully entertaining. Because if you don't have a will, the state of Texas has one for you. Let's dive in. So for today, we're going to talk about something that I guess a lot of companies and businesses are always trying to focus on, and that is their potential customers or clients' pain points, right? But before we dive into that, have you all thought about what that even means?
Well, I have.
You know what, Sarah? I don't believe you. But please, let's see how far you can dig a hole.
Oh, good.
Please
I was
elaborate.
thinking more, just because we do the marketing, obviously.
Oh,
I
well,
You do?
we our firm?
I think about them, daily, and they are points that no, they are, points that are supposed to, inflict some sort of, an emotional trigger.
Well,
I didn't say the word.
Wow, you dug deep into your vocabulary bucket.
Yes.
it's just a bucket.
Or
I think that's
actually,
the
no,
first time
it's more a colander, isn't it?
Right.
I'm like, word bank bucket. Oh, okay.
I think that's also the first time you've, like, seriously answered.
I don't think that was a serious answer though.
Well, but, like, it's more than her
No,
just
for
going,
Sarah
"Oh,
it
it's a
is.
it's a
Yeah.
point
For
that has
Sarah it
pain."
is.
Like, it
Right. I
elaborated
tried.
on. Maybe that's better.
that causes
Sarah or not Sarah, we just heard from
anguish.
Sarah. Well, she's caffeinated for those who are viewing this. Sam, how about you? How would you define a pain point?
Reason reasons that stop! That,
Cynthia,
see, now you're making me nervous.
come
Stop.
on.
I didn't do
I think it's
anything.
kinda like the reasons that they come to us, right? Like, somebody has passed away or they're scared about
Which is
dying and
often painful.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like that's a way to describe it. I
Okay, it,
hope
it
I'm
is
right.
a way. Okay.
Yeah.
Cynthia, did you want to chime in?
not really.
Okay. So the dictionary defines pain point as a part of a process or system that causes problems or obstructions. And
Okay.
then the second one, which is more fun but less relevant, a small area on the body that is sensitive to pain. The
Well,
Perfect.
but I always love how they use it in context. The
yes.
trick to solving knee tendonitis is finding the exact pain point and applying ice.
There we go.
Well, okay.
I think that our whole slogan, our tagline, is built around the fundamental pain point that people have. And that is if you don't have a will, i.e., a plan, the state of Texas has one for you. And there's a lot to unpack there because one, the first part is if you don't do something, right? If you stay inert, then something else, some other entity that doesn't know you, that doesn't care about you, that doesn't customize things to you, your wishes, and your circumstances, is going to make those decisions for you. And I think for us, when we look at a lot of the people we work with, so what, we have a few target audiences, either intentionally and or people who have come to us. I'm not going to do this to you, Sam, because it's not fair. I am going to do it to Sarah because she is our marketing person. What are some type of clients that you would say are our target clients?
Parents.
Parents?
Um,
Parents of both kids under 18 and possibly parents that have kids who are thinking about the time of year it is.
yes.
Newly launched, graduating from college. I mean, graduating from high school, going off
Is
into the
that really
world,
launched?
whatever that means. Okay, what
Correct.
else? What else? What else? What else?
Um, we also, the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
I was gonna try to pronounce
Both
that acronym.
y well, why would you know it? Um, both people who are in the community and perhaps if we were to do something like a Venn
Venn
diagram,
diagram.
Mhm.
Yeah.
parents who have
Right,
LGBTQ kids, I think, yeah.
Mhm.
right.
Any other demographic you would say? I cannot wait to hear this answer.
Um, I think those are our main 2, you know?
I
But also
feel
homeowners.
oh, Sarah! Oh my gosh. Alright, bonusly points for Sarah.
Alright.
Not that necessarily you're right, other versus you were thinking what I was thinking, which is much more important than being right. I I'm gonna say that again. Thinking what I was thinking is so much more important than being right.
Noted.
Now, to take the focus off Sarah, as much as she is on a roll, Sam,
And
what would you say is a pain point? We'll use the first one that Sarah used for parents of kids under 18. What would be a pain point? Obviously, you can relate. You don't have kids yet, but apparently
yeah,
you're supposed
yeah,
to,
yeah,
according to the
whether I
stars.
like it or not. Um, I mean, them passing away and what's gonna happen to their kids. They're gonna have to go through the foster
Be
system.
more specific.
Well, like, who are their kids gonna go to if they're no longer of this mortal realm? Because I mean, we always use the example, right, that they could be on the floor of the foster offices or whatever it is. I don't
Whoa.
remember it overnight because you
Okay,
run out of list
okay,
Ooh.
but
things.
I'm going to stop you right there because I want to make sure people understand what the hell you're talking about. Is that if all legal parents die and there are children under 18, they are technically, until a guardian is appointed, under the care of Child Protective Services and potentially going to be put in foster
Yes,
care. And the very real
worst.
thing that Sam is alluding to, which your lack of articulation concerns me that you are answering the phone, but that's fine. Uh,
That's
is
fair.
that we know of real cases where kids have had to sleep on the floor of Child Protective Services the day their parents died until we can figure out where they could go. That is a real thing. So certainly a pain point um, of having kids is not being able to not have it, like not choosing who that guardian would be. And I think if you then extrapolate that out to parents who have children, LGBTQ children, perhaps maybe even in Texas, that is even more concerning because right now it's a little questionable about how the state of Texas views the community and what choices they may make regarding where a child who identifies as L or G or B or T or Q or I or A or plus
Plus,
would end up. That's terrifying, I think. Cynthia, what
yes.
would you say would be a pain point for someone who is a homeowner in Texas?
who's gonna get your house, yo? How's it gonna be transferred? Does it
Is
just
there something
does it
is there
magically
something
happen? Is it automatic?
is
Upon your death?
is there something in Texas that is different when it comes to home ownership than other states, and a presumption that people make where they are 100% incorrect?
Yeah, that it, like, automatically goes to your spouse because it's community property, but
Yeah. So, we say
drop
this a
down.
lot. I've said it a lot because I think it's probably if we were to hypothetically do the 5 biggest mistakes or misconceptions that people have, which all right, let's derail for a second. So Sarah, our marketing genius in the
Oh
firm,
no.
why don't we just make this your title, marketing genius?
I mean, that sounds fun.
Or what about how
Um,
about no, I think you
it was
would
like a
be
genius.
marketing genius?
Yeah, yeah, I'm down.
Genius? Yeah.
We can have that on the next business
So
cards.
she was developing these sequence of emails. Was it for a webinar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. In unbeknownst to me, actually, I'm gonna stop right there. Cynthia, I like it better when you tell the story. You take it from there.
So Sarah does present things to us. She has things like outlined, and we're going through the list. We're going through 5, 4, 3, 2, and then number 1 is teased. Like, if you want to find number 1, come to the this webinar. And so we get
Right.
there and we look at Sarah. I'm like, okay, what's number 1? And she looks at
And
us.
Sarah said,
What did I say?
what did
What did I
Sarah
say?
say? Well, first there was a long silence, I think, that we just
Yes, there
experienced
was.
There
because
was.
I don't think Sarah had contemplated that. Because truly, I'm the one who does the webinar. What
Yeah,
problem is that of Sarah's?
it's not.
She's following marketing advice 101 on how to build an interest so that people who register for a webinar actually attend. And you're not going to here are the top 5 reasons people don't have an estate plan or make a mistake, whatever it is, or misconceptions or myths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay tuned for the seminar. And then Sarah, I'm out. I'm out. And it's like, maybe as the person who is going to present the seminar webinar, you should include me in so that I can know, well, Sarah, what is number 1?
I remember that day that I looked at
Never
Sarah.
even occurred to her.
And she's like,
I
"Yeah,
said
it's for the we find out at the seminar." And I looked at her.
He said, "That's not
I
my
stood
problem."
up and I walked out of the room.
number 1 is not my problem.
You know what? It'd be so much better if your approach was, "It's not my problem, Sarah." But we all know the real answer is that you hadn't thought of that.
You didn't know what it
No.
was. I don't
I had
know.
no idea what it was.
You had never even contemplated the fact that there should be an answer to that, which is so much worse than the approach of, "Well, not my problem," right?
Oh, I think about that
Uh,
day, Sarah, every now and then when I need a good chuckle. I just need you to know that. When the world looks bleak, I just think
What
back
looks
to
bleak?
it's not my
When the
problem.
world looks bleak, when you're experiencing a pain point,
When I'm
I
experiencing a
harken
pain
back
point.
to those
Uh-huh.
memories. You know what we should do? We should do a special podcast episode. Okay, I'm developing an idea out loud here of
okay.
everybody's like top 5 moments
Ever?
that we've experienced that we
I don't
Sarah, could we even get to 5?
You'll never guess what number 1 is.
Never guess. You'll never guess what number 1 is. Stay tuned while I think
Hold
about it
on.
and
Hold
figure
on.
it out.
So, wait, when you say like top 5 moments, like the time
I'm guessing she means top 5, like, since working here is
But,
my
like,
guess.
do you mean, like, positive things or, like, whenever
No.
somebody calls
Absolutely
somebody by their
not.
dead mom's name? Okay, got it. We're here. I got it.
Why'd you have to roast me like
Sam, because you're in the same room as I am.
damn?
I 100% think we need to do the top 5 moments at Burch Law that other people witnessed.
Yeah.
Sam may need to have top 10 because they're
I
but
already
you'll
know
never
one
guess what number
Jordan
1
knows.
is. Actually,
Guess number 1.
everyone at Burch Law will 100% guess what number 1 is.
I don't know that we should do that one. Sarah, what's our rating on this podcast?
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I don't think we have,
Oh,
you
really?
know. Yeah.
You know what? It
I think
alludes to
we should do that
something.
once.
It's a the thing about it, what makes it so funny, it is such a purely innocent moment.
For
That
Sam,
seems to
that's
be I
that's
think that's
all of Sam's
9 out of 10 of
moments.
mine is me
That's
saying something
legitimately
wrong.
all of Sam's moments, and she says something, just the wording is the slightest bit off, or she repeats something a client says, and it's like, "No, buddy, not in this channel."
Just Sam, just say it's the language barrier.
No. It's like the other day when she said, "Oh, I've never had a PB&J," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, I haven't lived here my whole life." I'm like, "Excuse you, what?"
Yeah, actually this did just come up. Was it Monday or was it last week? And the answer is it doesn't matter. But it was very recent. That's how recent it was.
I think it was this week.
And
It was Monday.
Yeah.
Sam, so here's the thing about Sam. Is she likes to have it both ways.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, I admitted it when you called
And
me out.
so she likes to either be, "Oh, I'm new here. I don't understand all your American ways." And then she wants to be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's how
grew
I say
up
it.
here. I don't even like have an accent, okay?" And it's like you don't get that. So, yeah.
Huh.
But she does. She plays both ways when she wants to. Because it was the day that you did the states. So, by the way, Sarah, I don't know if this is a international thing, but Sarah is very good at
Yeah.
Yeah,
geography.
we should do
She
practice
knows all
runs.
the states.
It
So
is n
I don't know why, because I don't pay any of you to do these things, but a few
Yeah.
people at Birch Law during work hours decided to print a map of the United States
They said it was
and
during their
try
lunch
Just doing
to
lunch.
label the states.
on office equipment, whatevs. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Sam maybe got 3 states, I don't know.
I
It
got
was bad.
9. No, 12. 11. I think it was 11.
If we
So
remove
It's 5.
Hawaii and Alaska, I don't
And it
think
was
those should count because those
well,
aren't
I'm
distinct.
counting them because then I'm under.
yeah, yeah.
It's really
Um,
embarrassing.
so her whole thing
I
was, "I'm
experienced, that's
not
all I'm
from
gonna say.
here." And then the
No, I
PB&J
just don't
thing.
know my states.
Yeah.
Sarah did extremely well.
You did really well. We did I don't think we did dock you a few because they did technically give you some hints. Where
Because
That's fair.
what?
you guys gave some hints. You guys were in the
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
Oh, for
But
Sarah? Yeah,
still,
Sarah got all 50,
got
but we docked a
46
few
out of
because there were
50.
hits. There was like 46 out of 50.
Yeah.
And
And she
one
even
was
got to
because
the
you switched
yeah,
to,
Yeah,
Mississippi and Missouri.
yeah.
and a couple and 2 others, in fairness to Sarah, is she may have gotten them, but she got hints, like Mormons.
Yeah. Great job.
Yeah.
But
I
I
didn't
mean,
do
who
well with
knew?
Mississippi.
You did
There's
not do
so
well with
many.
Mississippi, Sam.
I don't Can you
Not
even
where
spell
Mississippi is.
Mississippi, Sam?
Mississippi.
You better not. That that was a Lori childhood thing when I would spell states, and I'd say Mississippi, and my mom would say, "You better not." I don't know why, but anyway, memories. So homeowners have pain points, and they are
They do.
they are the fact that there's there is no automatic. So, I don't know how property transfers in New Zealand.
Neither do I.
Why would you? You
Exactly.
are basically a Native American. I mean, I really wish I could
Hold
have that
on.
one back. Native
Nope.
to America.
Yeah, we need to make sure that Sarah.
There's nothing wrong with what I just said. Um, Another thing that happens is people don't realize this whole thing where in Texas, joint ownership of a piece of property, it doesn't automatically go to the surviving spouse or the other owner. And so we run into a lot of issues there. Tune into previous podcasts to hear more of that. I think another issue that we don't talk enough about is when people want to, like, they have multiple heirs or beneficiaries. So let's say they have 3 kids. Let's just make an easy illustration. And they're like, "Oh, I want everything divided 3 ways." And there is a home involved. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? And then throw in a wrinkle that is happens a lot. And that is, let's say one of those kids lives in the home. So are all 3 of them supposed to be co-owners of a house, but the one is still supposed to live there? And then if they're the one living there, how do they get the homeowner's exemption? Because they can only get a homeowner's exemption on the 3rd. Or do they wanna buy out the others? Or are you wanting to make sure that the home is sold, so now you've got one of your kids who's homeless that has to find a new home? I mean, there's just a lot we could unpack
I have a
there.
question.
Uh,
What if
yeah.
what if we
Oh,
just take
no.
a chainsaw to it and
Oh,
divide it
To
in
the
3?
house?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. That way it's
Do you
in
mean
3 parts.
figuratively or literally?
Literally.
I
would you do it
mean,
this way or this
Well, it's in thirds, Sam.
this
eh,
way, this way, this
we
way, or this way, this
I feel we all have siblings, so I feel like there's a
We
certain
do.
degree where we probably could draw upon how we draw those lines of what. So, my sister, I have an older sister because 'cause I'm the baby, which is painfully obvious whenever you're around me that I'm the baby of the family. There's lots of brothers, but only one sister, and we're best friends. She's 7 years older than me, and I feel like that's important for people to understand how significantly older than me she is, because people often think we're the same age or I'm older, and I'm assuming that's based on maturity.
That's that's Uh-huh. Yeah, keep going.
But we've done a lot of traveling together, and so we would share a bed, and there's just I mean, and this is into adulthood, I want you to know. And it's just my thing, it's my routine, and she goes with it. But we get into bed, and I always tell her, "There is a line," and I make the hand gesture down the center of it. "Here is the line." And then I put myself on top of her to suffocate her and say, "I'm a human blanket."
Hold on. Let's reflect on that for a second. Not exactly that. But there's a lot of stuff that even as adults, if it's like your sibling, you're like, "Man, you're just willing
Yeah.
to go for it."
Yeah,
You
I
think
really
doing a
I
line
feel for the I was just gonna say, I feel for the only children out there because growing up with siblings, whether it's half step or full, like, it's a whole different vibe. You are a different
is
person and how you
Mhm.
function in the world, and the relationship you have with a sibling is just something you can't replicate, and except with I feel like there's, like, certain relationships we have with coworkers in Birch Law where it's like, this feels like a sibling relationship because, like, I love you and I care about you, but I also wanna punch you in the face a lot.
Uh,
yeah.
that's so funny.
But
Sarah's
seriously, like
Sarah's reflecting, I just saw
I'm
that.
like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
like there's just some stuff you can say to your sibling that you cannot say to any other human being on the planet.
yeah. I mean, in my experience, it's a very refreshing relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like as your parents become crazier, because it's inevitable. I've told my own kids, like, this is going to happen. We're going to go nuts if we're not already
Yeah.
there. Like, there's nobody else who can relate to that if you don't have a sibling. It's like,
Yeah.
speaking of pain points, parents.
Yeah, when it comes to our parents, if our either one of them does anything that we're like, man, that's too far, we all of a sudden when my brother and I speak, oh no, it's your mother. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's your father. We have no claim. It's usually my father and his mother though.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you all have sibling relationship, the same type of sibling relationship, but like again, you want to punch him in the face a lot, but nobody else better talk shit
Yeah,
about them. Like, don't even.
I'm
Don't even.
pretty down.
Don't even.
Same like with your parents though. Like sometimes whenever you're like, you can be a little smart mouth or whatever to your parent, but the second somebody else does it,
Oh no. Yeah.
woe be it onto you.
Yeah. This is a very Cynthia Lori driven conversation. Sarah and Sam, as people who have both parents and
Yeah.
siblings,
Yeah.
where
What do we all have to contribute? Please.
where do you weigh in on this dynamic? Because I know it's not the same for all families.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you guys I mean, not obviously. You guys relate a lot to each other in terms of parents, I think.
We'll leave it at
We're
that. Move on.
yeah.
Move on. It's better for
We're
me.
like I think I'm the opposite when it comes to my parents for how I guess relationship wise, but
You want to know why, Sam? I'll tell you right
uh,
now.
mhm,
Because of your age, and you
yeah.
still allow yourself that codependent relationship.
Yeah. I'm also the baby. I know that that's
Well,
also
same.
I don't
Okay,
know if that's part of it, but
but if and when you
mhm,
ever decide to, like, spread your wings and, like, really wanna just do whatever the hell you wanna do, make your own decisions, that is when you may. I'm not
I
suggesting it
mean
is. I'm not getting into your
yeah.
dynamics. I'm just saying that is the shift.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there was a shift when I officially moved to Dallas. Like, I mean,
But I also think your harmony really plays into it. Like whenever your parents come to town, they're like, "Oh, hey," because they love going on drives. Let's just go for a drive, and you're like, "Guys, it's snowing."
well, I mean, I like going on them as long as I'm not the one driving.
Okay,
To be fair.
okay. Sarah,
Right.
Um, Great question. Honestly honestly, I don't really know. I feel like
That's how I feel.
yeah, like, I don't yeah. I like, it's somewhat similar where it's like, yeah, like, I can, be, like, snarky or rude to them, but, like, nobody else can, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I've never really thought about it.
Do you ever wanna
interesting.
punch one of your siblings in the face?
Or
Honestly,
throat.
no.
Mm-mm.
Really?
Maybe when I was
No,
younger, but now that we're all older, no.
no. I mean,
You still don't have the same type of relationship where they just like are walking through and they'll just call you like a loser for no reason and like knock whatever you're holding out of your hand.
I never did.
I mean,
My
I have a
sister just
cat
I
like
mean,
that.
completely my
like,
sister just
that
Or
happens.
completely
like the
cut
whole Lori
biscuits.
like flopping on her sister.
Like, that happens, but I'll just match the energy, I'll just do it right back.
Yeah.
See, my siblings never really did that. At least not with me that I know of. We would more just like there's a story of one of my sisters started a fight outside of my grandpa's place with a bunch of boys. And so my other
Yeah.
sister, they're the ones where they're sisters through me. She came up to help Nick fight and then Nick just walks away and leaves Leisha to the fight. So that's kind of I feel like our
Oh.
dynamic.
Dang.
We'll come to that for each other, but as soon as the other one's there, the other one will leave.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't really speak to my siblings probably as much as I should.
Oh, is
Well,
that a
I mean
pain point for
same,
you?
but
I
the
didn't hear you.
relationship's still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, my I mean, I do talk to my sister a lot, but, like, my brothers, they're just dudes. What are you gonna do? So, I would love to see them more, frankly. That is it's not a regret because I would do something about it if I could, if I didn't have 5,000,000 children and a business to run.
Mhm.
But, none of us live in the same area anymore, and when we did, like, we'd hang out. But if we got together tomorrow, it'd be a blast. It'd be so much
Yeah,
fun.
same.
And we've talked before about, like, going on a sibling vacation and stuff, and we probably should because, um, I don't know, we just have a lot of fun together. It's and you all know this, and maybe this is unique to me and I didn't realize it, or maybe it's a normal thing, but, like, you never live anything down in my family. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
something you did
in
like,
your family.
I still give my sister a hard time for throwing up on me in Kmart
I hope that was just
because I
you.
I moved out of her way, okay? Like, we had gone out for frozen yogurt, and she was like we were in an aisle, and she was starting to get sick, and we were, like, 30 miles from our home because I grew up in the middle of nowhere in California, Mojave Desert. And, like, I saw her, like, starting to do this, and so I moved, and she moved and then threw up all over me. And look, I
Uh-huh.
understand that this
It is hard to
was,
say.
like, 42 years ago, but I'm just gonna say it comes up.
Did she drive you to that Kmart?
No, she wasn't old
Okay.
enough to drive. This was probably on our way home from a dance class in Lancaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
My family's the same though. We don't forget anything. Like I can tell you about like my
No.
sister getting attacked by magpies, one of them falling off a
Well,
tree.
hold on. That's not something they did to you though, or
Yeah.
something that
Well,
it's like,
well, my sister brings up that she made me eat cat biscuits, like dry biscuits, and I just did it
Yeah.
willingly. The time she told me wasabi was a sweet treat, and she gave me a big, like bowl
Nice.
size of it. That was yeah.
Oh.
There's a reason I don't eat wasabi. It's because of her.
Yeah, but, I
Yep.
mean, I feel like I'm
Sibling things.
constantly
sibling
bringing
things.
up stories with you guys, and
Hmm.
I want you to know it's from a place of love. And actually, Sarah, you missed one on Monday because you were pretending to be sick.
Yeah.
What?
Um, but we were talking about the phone number of Burch Law, and I know that's something that you've struggled with.
Thank you.
I feel like it's just a roast Sarah day.
No, we
What are you
got you
talking
too. Don't
about?
worry.
This has
We
been
got
pretty
you in.
good. This has been pretty
No,
good.
I love it. It's
So,
hilarious.
Aw.
so, um parents who have thinking, depending on when you're listening to this, it could be at any point, but when we're actually recording this, we are on the cusp of graduating from high school. And that's when we've got a lot of I don't know how 18 years old became the legal age of legal majority, but here's a pain point for parents. Once your kids turn 18 and they graduate from high school, although I did not graduate at 18, I graduated at 17, but neither here nor there. Um, what does that mean? What is a pain point there? If I'm a parent and I have a child who's 18, what's my pain point? Anybody?
That they're going off to college and they could get hurt, and you have no way to know if they're okay.
You no longer
Why?
have legal
Why?
rights over that person. They're a full
Whether they go to college or not, Sam, because it's
whether
not
Yeah.
for
no
Well,
matter
everybody.
what
yeah, but I mean
happens,
that's
once you're
usually why
18,
they call.
you technically have no rights over your child.
So that means you can't make medical decisions. You can't access medical information. Oh, by the way, Sarah, did you see the comment that somebody made?
I did see that, and I saw
Did
your
you like?
response.
Did you like my answer?
Yeah,
Tell
I'm
us the
saving that.
story, Sarah. Tell us the story, Sarah.
Oh, good. So
What
every
was the
year
post?
yeah, so every year around this time, we do posts about, 18-year-olds going off to college or not, but you need medical power of attorney. and we always get some ridiculous comments from people saying, "Well, I could do that." And so, let me see what she said. So this woman said, "I've called hospitals about my mom and never had issues getting information." And then we said, "There are 3 ways that is happening. 1, your mom signed something at the hospital to give consent. 2, your mom is conscious to give consent. Or 3, they are breaking the law."
That was
Well,
good,
well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving that.
Did she reply?
No.
Yeah, you know why, Sarah? Because there's not a damn thing you can say to that. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before this all may feel like a derailment, but before we truly derail with whatever Sam and Sarah have in store for us, um, pain points. I think one of the biggest ones is no matter who you are, is is there's not a lack of urgency, but there's this inertia in people into being able to get this planning done. And I think one of the biggest pain points is also one of the biggest misperceptions. At least it's a misperception when it comes to our firm because different law firms have different processes, right? But for us, this idea that you have to have all this information collected, all the stuff, like it's just going to be this arduous task to get a plan in place that says, look, if I, not if, when I check out, this is who I want to get my stuff, this is who I want to be in charge, this is who I want to take care of my kids. Yes, it's always good if you have your life organized. You know what bank accounts you have, life insurance, this, that, and the other. And that's a good thing. And we encourage that and we provide tools and we provide an ongoing plan to help with that. But to get the fundamental piece in place, this idea that you have to have all of this information collected and have to do all this work is actually a really, I think, big barrier or pain point in that, at least for firms like ours, all you really truly need to do to get a plan in place that's going to put you far ahead of 70+% of other people in your situation is, do you have people that you care about and do you have people that you trust? That's it. That is 100% it. And it's so important that it's making Cynthia sneeze.
It is. That's exactly why.
Cynthia is allergic to procrastination.
Absolutely. Gives me hives.
It does. It makes her all that and the slightly like anything that's remotely warm or humid.
Yeah, that too.
Fair.
No, thank you.
I still have that image of
So
Cynthia at the when we did the uh
outside in the middle of
dri-
June at 2 o'clock, I
the
was
drive-in
dying.
and
Oh
she was
yeah.
Hot?
sitting in a chair with an
What?
umbrella, but I prefer to call it a parasol in
It
this
was
because
I
she's
was using it as a
oh,
parasol.
I declare
I don't know that I said that. I
you
feel
did
like it was
not.
Oh no.
more
That's the
I
image
might
in my
throw
head.
up. I almost did throw up at one point. It was just so
It was
hot.
Yeah.
so hot. Never again
Yeah.
in June.
Yeah.
What we're like currently planning an event in June, and we have a certain member of our team who is afraid it would be too cold for the pool in June,
In
and they are
Texas.
not new to Texas.
They are not.
We'll unpack that later.
Yeah.
But anyway, the issue is that we all have a lot of pain points and triggers, and we know that there's a lot of things that people know that this is important, it's vital, they have a lot at risk. Um, but the other pain point that kind of counteracts that is how much time is it going to take? How much, I really don't even think it's the cost. I think we use that and cost is important, but it's really more the overwhelm of what decisions, what information, what this and that. And at some point, you have to choose your pain point. And if protecting your families, protecting your loved one, protecting your home is a bigger priority, then it's time to get over that hump of how the overwhelm. And when you work with firms like ours, and this isn't meant to be a marketing pitch or anything, I'm just saying that the reason I say it that way is because I know there are firms that don't make that easy. They're like, oh, fill out a ton of shit, you know. But there are firms like ours that it's like, look, just have a conversation with us. Let's start simple and let's guide you through it. It doesn't have to be an arduous task. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Let's get a solid plan in place that you can always change, tweak, or update. But anything that is a solid plan is going to be better than the nothing that you have. It's going to be better than the state of Texas plan. Because if you don't have a will, the state
State
of
of Texas
Texas
has one for you.
has one for you, right? So pain points. I do believe that Sarah and Sam have a few things to contribute on the topic of
Oop.
pain points. I looked at the first one and then decided that I would go no further than that and just leave it at that. So Sarah and Sam, what do you have planned for us today?
Yeah, so we have some pain points that are literal, emotional, etc. Some are personal to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, being stabbed,
Oh,
literal pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll hurt.
Yeah, just a little.
are you wanting to do this like rapid fire style, or is there time for questions?
I would like to say rapid fire, but that never works. So I think
Can we save our questions to the end?
up to you,
Well-
however you guys want to do it.
Save our
Let's-
questions and
yeah.
applause till the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do
okay,
that. Okay,
okay.
go for it.
Okay. Number 2, stepping on a Lego.
Okay.
Sure.
Number 3, this is where it gets personal. Thinking you're in a relationship with somebody, right? It was pretty serious, even to where, you like swap sweatshirts, it was all gross, cute, blah, 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 blah. But then they call you friends and friends on you. It turns out they were going through things very mentally and apologize later. But that was a very big pain point. Yeah.
I have
Christian, sir.
questions, reserving for later.
All right, number 4, totally hypothetical, of course. Letting someone get closure from their ex and then leaving you for said ex.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a pain point. All right.
And then, just as bad, losing a sock in the dryer.
Right.
Yeah.
Just as bad.
Yeah, 100%.
When your pet sits on your foot and it's their hard, bony leg stabbing you in your toe bones.
Yeah.
70 pounds on one toe.
Yeah, not personal at all. When you're like laying on your bed, right, and your cat lays or sits on you, and they will put all of their weight onto one leg of theirs to where you constantly have a bruise in that one place.
Right.
And lastly, getting waterboarded. And that's it.
Wow.
Okay, so let's
You
let's-
did
let's back up.
nothing Birch Law related, and normally you bring it home with that, and I'm disappointed.
Sorry.
Rats.
I just really like the getting waterboarded. That was really
You do. Should
Not-
we
not
try
personally.
it and see
No,
what you
I-
think of it then?
No,
Watch
the
the
thing I wouldn't like
Ghostbusters.
it.
Yeah, watch the Ghostbusters. Not Ghostbusters. Wow, MythBusters episode where they test it. I highly recommend it.
I'm not surprised I've done that.
No.
My dad used to like
So
Questions,
speaking of, I do have a few, but I want to talk about pets.
Yeah.
So, like my baby Memphis, he's mine, and he loves to sit on my lap, and I don't know why he just has to take his very sharp claws and make the muffins into my knee.
Yeah, Barry
Ooh.
does that too.
It's just where he lands. He's so big. He's like has to stretch out.
I mean, I think it would hurt no matter what part of my body he was doing that
Yeah.
on.
Barry likes
But,
to lay on my
okay.
chest and put his paw on my face and then dig his claws in. The amount of time I've almost lost my eye is a little.
See, that sounds on purpose, though.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, he would do that.
So, thinking you were in a relationship with someone pretty seriously,
Yeah.
even to where you swap sweatshirts,
Yeah. Still my favorite.
and then they
sweatshirt to this
friends
day.
it. So, oh, this was you.
Yeah.
happened to Sam.
Okay. So tell us more about this, Sam.
I mean, it was just I
I
thought
wanna
we were
feel your
dating.
pain.
We were not. They lived in a different part. Like they didn't live in Houston. Because I was still in Houston at this time. Actually, or was I? I think I was both. Um, and we like mailed each other sweatshirts from each other's colleges. So yes, this was in Denton. And then I said something about us being together, and she goes, "Oh yeah, like friends or something." I don't remember what it was, and that was a really good time.
Man.
See, Sam, the part that I'm sitting here
Yeah.
is after that you wrote in parentheses they were going through things mentally and
They really
apologized
were.
later.
Yeah.
I don't
When I
know
say
why.
years, like
Hold on.
years later,
I don't know why you have to be the bigger person and add that. Like, why?
because we're still
Yeah, don't be the bigger
friends.
person, Sam.
Don't be the bigger person,
Never
Sam.
Oh yeah, we were
Throw that
ever
talking
be
about
the
sweatshirt
bigger
out.
this.
person.
We were talking about this in like our messages, and I was like, "Yeah, we still talk." And Sierra was like, "Sam, no." I don't know what to talk.
Blocked.
Okay.
All
Laura,
right,
do you
so
have
the other
anything
one I
else on
wanna
this?
ask about no, I wanna
Le-
ask about the letting someone get closure from their ex, then leaving
Uh-huh.
you for said ex.
Yeah.
So I
Please
need to know.
elaborate.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was like, "Yeah, this person did terrible things to you. Go, if they're apologizing to you, go get your closure, whatever." And then I was too nice.
So wasn't a
Really?
closure as much as a reopening?
Yeah.
Yeah, turns out.
Also, quick question.
Yeah,
How often are y'all losing socks in the dryer?
not that often, but I just feel like I lose socks in general because
Okay,
I don't know where they
I need
go.
to get both of you a
Oh,
gift. It
Okay.
is called a little like a sock bag or a
Ooh,
delicates
yeah, I
bag
need a sock bag.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's
that
true.
whenever you
It's
take off
true.
your socks, you put them in this bag and it lives like
I
next to
didn't
your
know that was a
laundry
thing.
hamper. And that way
Yeah.
you have a few to where you don't like overload one of them. And then you wash your socks in that. It goes to the washer, it goes to the dryer. And then when it comes out, the socks are still in there together.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, I
I have
do
a few of
so
these.
I do have an anecdote for this because I do Kimberly and I's laundry every week. It's really a control thing for me. I don't want I don't like other people doing my laundry.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
so, um, that's all fine and good. And I never misplace or lose anything, but I did lose a sock at some point. This is very recent. So, maybe like 2 weeks ago. Fast forward to like Monday. So, for those of you who don't, who are listening to our recording, this is like 2 days ago. Kimberly's wearing this pair of pants all day. When she takes the pair of pants off at the end of the day, she's like, "I just found your sock." was it was in her pants the whole time.
It's a strong
It's
sock.
crazy. It's
I would
crazy.
like people to know I never lost a sock until my spouse started doing our laundry, and then the
Yeah.
bag system started.
Yeah.
Is we have a box that I took. It was an old shoe box, and I wrote "sad sock box"
Oh,
on the box. And if you ever have a sock that's alone, it goes in the sad sock box until you find its pair, or if we never find it when we move, and check behind the dryer, then it is released.
Oh. Well,
Yeah. That's
again, this doesn't happen to me like hardly ever. That's probably the first time like in my entire life.
doesn't really
But for Kimberly, it always happens. So I just like shove her socks in her sock drawer. That's for her to sort out.
But where do they go? You can't just lose it. Like, if you put it in there, it's gotta be
They
in
get it.
there.
They get in the clothes, like in the
Yes, but
walls.
don't you like, I usually,
Mm.
like, check everything as I'm folding it, putting okay, see, this is why I can't be the only one that does laundry, because then I have to accept that I have to do all of it and do it my way, which is the right way.
Mm.
sure.
As far as my
Okay. All
household
right.
goes, let's say that.
Very good. Well, I think we've covered a lot of pain points that are both literal and figurative. And I don't know that there's much else to say. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening. And just to cover all our bases about what you just heard, I'm sorry and you're welcome. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And tell your friends about us. We do webinars and live events. The best way to stay up to date is to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are in the show notes. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover, maybe you have a question you'd like us to answer, or maybe you just want to say hi, hit the link in the show notes or go to burch-law.com/podcast and fill out the contact form.
Much better.
Yeah, I thought that had a lot of energy.